Hi, today I'm going to be ranking my second year college classes on a tier list once again. So, as we remember, I think so, I'm a biology major. So, basically, STEM major edition, pre-med, or like pre-dental also. And so, my ranking will be based on like the classmates because the people can make or break a class for one, the teacher, the actual course content, and like would I take again or at least like take similar classes and like I guess like an explanation of why. And I'm also breaking the classes into like their components, like lecture, lab, discussion. Yeah, I'm taking all of that into consideration. It's the same ranking system as last time, as 10 out of 10 will take again. A was I liked, it was pretty solid. B was alright, right? Like, I guess I was there. B was did not look forward to, like I was happy if it was canceled, and F was never again. But like I've noticed I don't really have too many classes. I don't think I've ever really had classes in the F category, the F never again, because it's like, I get to choose my classes now. It's actually like similar to like my major, like it's what I actually want to take this academic year. I overloaded the 20 credits, and for me that'll be like five classes, five 4 credit classes for each semester. So in order from over here, this is an intro to biology class with more so focus on like plants and I think evolution, a little bit of evolution. This one was calculus. This is linguistics, anthropology, physiology, sociology, anatomy, writing. This was a higher level biology class. It was evolutionary biology, and this was psychology. I'm gonna start, at the beginning with that introductory biology class. Oh, I just realized I spelled this wrong. Hold on. Okay, there we go. How did I not notice? But anyways, yeah, I'm trying to like jog up my memory, trying to remember what even happened over like the school year, especially like that first semester, because this was the first semester. I think I went in order almost. Yeah, I went in order there. Like the first 5 classes were the ones that I took the first semester, the fall semester, and the rest were the most recent ones, the ones I took the second semester, the spring semester. All right, so biology. The teacher actually, I mean the professor, I forgot that we use a professor instead of teacher now, but the professor genuinely cared about like making sure that we, did well. She seemed genuine in her attempts to like help us. She would be patient with us and everything. It was lab that was a different story, but however, I did meet one of my friends in lab. So that's a good thing. I'd have to give an A tier because I mean, I didn't exactly take it again per se, but like it was like pretty good of a class overall. Next one is calculus. For calculus, for the first half of the semester, I did go to class like in person. The problem was that it was only those Tuesday, Thursday classes, which means it's like an hour and 15 minutes. And like, it was also like in the kind of like evening. I think it was a 4 p.m. or like 5 p.m. class. So like I'll be getting tired. Like most of the time I'll be falling asleep. Like I sat first row, yeah, like the tiredness, it will get to me in my head it will be nodding off despite like the teacher literally standing a few feet away from me. I'm so sorry to him. So like after the first half of the school year, I stopped going to that class because I'm like so I realized that like the day before or like the week before a quiz, instead of like looking back at like my notes from class, if anything, I was going straight from the textbook and I was barely using my class notes if at all. So I'm like, yeah, then what am I even going to class for? Because if anything, I'm falling asleep during class. I'm not keeping up with like, the readings and like assigned problems. So I stopped going to class, not gonna lie. And I mostly stopped going to discussion. Discussion was a chance to, I guess, like do the assigned problems. They're not like assigned problems because like he won't check the problems. So it's like more so for you to succeed. With a chance to like do the assigned problems and like have the student teacher there to like ask for help. The main time that I went to a discussion, because it was also like early in the morning, like 9 a.m. That's not like super early, but to me, compared to like my other classes, it was early. The main time I was going to a discussion was when I wanted to like grab back like just test results or something, because like tests are passed back in discussion classes. I also sometimes went to a discussion because like since it started like at 9 a.m. it would be a chance for me to like start my day early, get stuff done. In fact, if anything, I'll be doing like other stuff in like that class. I'll be doing homework for the classes in that class. But overall, this is one of the classes where like I trended in like I went uphill, downhill trend. So like first exam I got 95, did pretty well. The second exam I kind of slacked. I'm like, well, I did so good the first time, like, let me slack. Or like, I just kind of didn't do as well the second time around. And for the final, did pretty decent, ended up with a B in the class. And it's like I could have done better if I had, really locked in for that second quiz instead of like uphill downhill trend. I'll say D, not gonna lie. Like the actual professor, like he was pretty nice and like funny. He's a kind of middle-aged person with like dad jokes. It's just that if anything, I didn't learn anything from the actual class. I learned stuff from like the textbook, so I was like basically teaching myself, if anything. Seeing like the amount of people in class as the semester went on, like the beginning of the semester when everyone, or at least like almost everyone was there, and then like as the weeks went on, seeing less and less people. I'm just glad I don't have to take like another calculus class again. I mean, I'm pretty good at math in general. Like college math is like in a way a different story because you basically have to teach yourself the stuff. Where it's like in high school or middle school, like they'll basically like hold your hand, go slowly with everything. Like, I still did decent. Could have done better, but I still did decent. I learned stuff. Long story short, linguistics. The professor was like yeah, she was pretty nice. Wanted us to succeed, provided us with resources. She was passionate about her class and everything. Yeah, I think I'd have to give an A. I really liked it and I liked what I learned. The only part or like of the course I didn't like was when we were learning about like trees. I forgot exactly what kind of tree it's called in linguistics. That one, like I don't know, just never clicked in my head. But then like the other stuff, like they were pretty cool. It also made me aware of like my own languages I know and speak. That's cool. Anthropology, that's like kind of similar to um in a way, although similar to linguistics in terms of like a professor, like she also wanted us to succeed. She was passionate about the topic, and she was always smiling. Her outfits were always stylish and cool, especially like in the fall when she was wearing like those fall colors. She looked great. At one point, I was considering changing my major to like biological anthropology. That was me like I guess like being scared of a challenge, like being scared of being challenged in like actual biology. Like now, I'm still keeping my biology major, but like back then I was like just thinking of changing my major. The anthropology classes look pretty cool because I love learning about how like different people and like different cultures live. Because I'm also multicultural, American culture and West African culture. So I just find it interesting also seeing like how other people live and stuff like that. And the classes look pretty great. There are some topics that I liked more than others, but like overall, I think it was like cool in that class. In the beginning of the school year, I used to do like all of my assigned readings on time, but later I kind of slumped on it. And I, yeah, I spoke about it. That was someone in my discussion class. I was like, "Yo, like, how's the readings been?" And he's like, "Oh, I have not done the readings in a hot minute." And I'm like, "Me too." Like in the beginning, I did do the readings things, but like now, not really. And then he's like, "Me too." I made an effort to like get the readings done, even if it was done late, because at least like better than nothing. Also, because like it was for like me overall. Okay, next class, physiology. This is the last class for the fall 23 semester. Physiology, well, the teacher, the professor, he was like, yeah, he was pretty cool and everything. He also had a lab. Lab was a different story, but like it was heavily based on group work. So if your group was good and like, I guess like you'd be good for the most part. My group was like, yeah, pretty great. They both knew each other because they were both engineering majors and like the same year and like already knew each other in the past or whatever. So I kind of third wheeled them, but they did make an effort to include me and like they were cool and everything. Overall, I feel like I didn't indeed learn a lot from this class, so I give it an A, long story short. I actually ended up liking the class because I mentioned it to my other friend who was a biology major because he took it the semester after me. And like when he mentioned that he was taking this class, I was like, oh, I took this class already and like I really liked it. I mean not lab, I like the actual class lecture. And at first he was like nerd, like what do you mean you actually like the classes that you're majoring in? I'm like, what do you mean you don't like the classes you're majoring in? Anyways, now we're moving on to the semester that just ended, the spring 23. Oh no, spring 24 semester. We're starting off with sociology. Sociology is like pretty similar to anthropology because they're both like studying people, I guess. Anthropology is like more so, I think in a way like cultural based, whereas sociology is like humans and society. Professor, I like his accent. He's from Turkey, I believe. He was also a good looking dude. And like he always made his slideshows, presentations like pretty entertaining. Yeah, like, I like that class. It was like pretty solid. I wouldn't say that I made friends in that class, but like I had like a few people who like I was familiar with, like since we sat in about the same places every day, like, we'll sometimes say hi to each other, or like if we were to turn and talk to like a partner or whatever, we'll turn to each other. We didn't like talk outside of class or anything. This one is human anatomy, I believe. Yeah, it is. It had lecture and lab. I don't even need this class for my major, to be honest. But like, it could give me a leg up also because like my freshman roommate is majoring in human anatomy, and like it was something that I was considering at some point. So I was like, okay, like let me also like get a taste of like the kind of classes that she will take. She was in this class, or at least I don't think she was, because I feel like I would have seen her at some point if she was in this class, this exact class, but I didn't. I was like, most of the people in this class were juniors, and I was a sophomore. So they're like, oh, you're taking this class already, and then they'd be like, oh, what's your major? And I'm like, oh, I'm a biology major. Actually, don't need this class. I'm just here, I guess, like almost for fun. I was because I genuinely found it interesting. It really was an interesting class, like really learning how the body works and tying it together and everything. I have this like skeleton dorm decoration, got it around the time of Halloween. It's like this mini skeleton dorm decoration, and I can finally like point out the bones in it and everything. And that's amazing for me. It really was an interesting class. I just wish I did better. If anything, it was the lab practicals that kind of boomed me. Well, it's like I tried my best. Overall, I had to give it B. Like, I guess that was all right. Like, I guess I was there because there were definitely a few times where I was falling asleep, or when I was like, this professor isn't like as considerate or like caring as past professors. I'm not gonna lie, especially like in lab, I felt dumb during that class. I'd be like, huh? Or like I hated when he would when like our lab TA would like quiz us randomly. He'd be like, okay, I'm gonna show you a right and left clavicle, okay? You have to determine like which one is the right clavicle. Like, that kind of like put on the spot type of learning. Like, I guess it works because like, it makes me like lock in and like reinforce my learning. But like for me, I'm already feeling dumb in that class because I barely know like what's going on. I'll do my review and everything later on, specifically like the week for the quiz or whatnot. But like putting me on the spot, like they already know that I'm not the brightest bulb in that room. Leave me alone. At one point, I was actually considering like minoring in human anatomy, like before I took that class. So I was like, what if I minor in it? I've looked at like requirements and all that, but then after taking this class, I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna minor in it, respectfully. It's also because minoring requires like, taking extra time. Not the extra time as in like extra semesters, but just really dedicating yourself to like both your major and your minor requirements. I'm like, I want to be free to like explore other options that are like unrelated to my major and like unrelated to like human anatomy type of classes. I generally did learn a lot from that class. Like when I go home, like when I'd go home during breaks, I'll be like pointing out like why I learned in class, like, oh, this is this bone, this is the tibia, this is the fibula, this is what it does. If you're experiencing pain over here, this could be a cause of it. Like, I was like brainstorming. I was using what I learned in class, best believe. Anyways, this next class is writing. The professor was actually like a graduate student. They were passionate about, what they were teaching and everything. The class was small, like less than 20 people, like maybe 15, I want to say. Like, kind of, even if I didn't know the people by name, I knew them like by face. First of all, I just want to say that writing is not my strong suit or strong suite. But class was like itself pretty decent. Either B or decent D, because I feel like a D would be kind of harsh. But also, like, I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key happy when we didn't have it because, like, I have to wait. Hold on, y'all, because like I had three classes back to back, with a 15-minute time gap between them. So, look, if that class was canceled, at least it would mean I would get to like eat earlier and like finish my day earlier. It's a writing class at the end of the day. All right, so overall, I had to put in a D. I'm sorry, but like, I'm sorry. I mean, the professor was nice and everything. It's just that, like, for one thing, I'm already not a fan of like writing. When the classes were actually canceled, I was like happy, not gonna lie. And I've had a writing class before, my freshman year, and I liked that class like way more. The mix of both the people and the professor that made me like the class like way more. Like, I don't know, just this year, I already don't like writing them. Like, I guess like the other things weren't hitting as well either. So D tier, I'm sorry. Anyway, this next class is like, it's a higher level biology class. It was above evolution. I really liked it. I went to her office hours and told her that, are you teaching like any more high level biology classes? And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm glad that you liked my class and that you came here. Although she knew me by name. I was in the front row for one, but like sometimes, like every once in a while, I'd be falling asleep and I feel bad. I'm like, I hope that she doesn't notice like I'm falling asleep. Like, I swear. You're not boring, it's just that I didn't sleep well enough. Overall, I love that class, like learning the evolution, being able to like I guess like tie things up from what I've learned in the past. And she was also like a person of color, so I love getting in that representation, you know. And his last class is psychology. I love that professor as well, not gonna lie. I never went to like her office or spoke to her or anything, but like I loved how like blunt and like direct she was. An example was like when she was telling us about a previous student, and then like she was telling us that like dude came up to her after class and said like, okay, so I have this problem where I keep on chewing on like my shirt collar. It might be oral fixation. Like, how can I stop it? And she was like, maybe don't wear shirts with collars on them. And that just made us laugh. I was like, I guess that is true, but like, that was funny. Also, I really love taking psychology because it was one of the things I was considering like majoring in like before I actually chose my major. And I don't know, I just feel like it wouldn't be. I mean, I guess it's like exciting, but I just feel like it wouldn't be exciting enough compared to like biology. Because like with biology, you get to do like literal experiments, whereas with psychology, I guess you do get to do like experiments in terms of like research studies kind of stuff. But I just feel like biology would be more exciting overall. I'm like, yeah, I'll definitely take some psychology classes during my time. Yeah, I pretty much like psychology. I'll give an A. Like I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd like take it. Either like an S or an A. Hold on. Like I did like it, but like 10 out of 10 kind of like. I feel that's a bit too strong. Like I do want to take the other psychology classes in the future if I can. This one in particular. Hmm. Even at A tier, I'm sorry. It was pretty good, but like not S tier good. Mainly this is my final list. Last year when I did like my freshman, first year classes on a tier list, I don't think any classes ever went to like the D or the F tier. But like this time around, we had two classes in the D tier. This is my overall list. It looks like I liked most of my classes. If you made it this far, like thank you for watching. And on to another year. Bye.